want to have a couple blocks. Want to have a bolster or a blanket, and of course our mat. And then if we can clear a little space at the wall or use a chair, we'll have some chair wall work as well. I also decided to put this live on Facebook and YouTube, just to, since I'm doing it as an offering today because I messed up yesterday. I was supposed to record the class. So I thought it would be nice, to offer it. If for any reason you don't feel like having yourself on the video, feel free, but it's always nice for students to see others, but it's up to you. You get to decide. And actually, you know what, Crystal, I can do, let me just pin my video and put it on, I'll just put it on myself and then I can still see you. You won't come up, I don't think. I'll let you know if it does, okay? But I doubt highly, yeah. It'll just be me now because I just put it on speaker. Okay, welcome. And I am grateful for this time today to be able to take you through beautiful practice. This is one that I've been planning for a while. I'm using the bliss body frequency, which this comes from a group called FRQNCY. So it looks like frequency. And so you'll hear some music in the background, and those are Sofragio kind of therapeutic sounds that we'll be listening to as we go through our practice today. I want to start by having you find a comfortable seat and closing your eyes. Take a few moments just to get present here now in this breath, at this time, sitting in this space, relaxing deeply and arriving to your practice fully. I have something to read to you, so as you receive this beautiful wisdom for today on illuminating the truth, we set our intentions towards opening to our own sense of satya, our commitment to being honest with ourselves, and to moving in a way that feels in alignment with our well-being. The mantra today is, I am willing to see things clearly, no matter the outcome. And this quote is from Matt Kahn. When the truth is illuminated, you are no longer willing to settle for opinions, but instead yearn for a direct reflection that can shift fear and apprehension into higher vibrations of acceptance. In the illumination of truth, it doesn't matter how much life gets inconvenienced or disrupted. Instead, the recognition of fact versus falsehood allows you to move past the shattering of expectations, to commune with a reality beyond the horizon of your ingrained ideas. I'll read it one more time. when the truth is illuminated, you are no longer willing to settle for opinions, but instead yearn for a direct reflection that can shift fear and apprehension into higher vibrations of acceptance. In the illumination of truth, it doesn't matter how much life gets inconvenienced or disrupted. Instead, the recognition of fact versus falsehood allows you to move past the shattering of expectations to commune with a reality beyond the horizon of your ingrained ideas. In this moment, we allow ourselves to be blessed with the frequency of healing. And through this practice, we allow ourselves to also tune in to our own personal intentions that live in our hearts. Let's start by taking, you don't even have to open your eyes for this, taking your legs and crossing them with the other leg on top or in front, just the crossing of your legs. Place your 3 middle fingers of your right hand at the center of your lower part of your breastbone, right between your 2 chest points. Just press gently into this space at your heart. This is the point called Sea of Tranquility. As we press deeply and firmly into this spot, we allow ourselves to rest in present moment attention, free from anxiety. We begin to strip ourselves of any tensions that we've been carrying. We allow ourselves to fully arrive in this body as it is, without any judgment, just with full acceptance. Taking several minutes here with this press. Feeling the breath moving into the heart space. Our first awareness rests in the physical form, so we notice where in our body, the Anamaya Kosha, where in our body, in this matter, holding tension. And just use this time to scan, take your breath there, allowing that sheath, that kosha, to become loosened. The sheath of matter, the sheath of the body. Oftentimes it's the sheath of craving. It's like when our body needs something, how it tells us, we're hungry. Relaxing your face and jaw. Honoring that we're sitting within that sea of tranquility that's within ourselves. All other things begin to fall away. Another big breath into the heart space. As you exhale, release that pressure point, and we'll move our next pressure point down below the navel, about 2 inches at the same level as our hara, the hip line. So across where your hip bones are, right in the center of that. So right here, you're going to press in to the center, into that point. You don't have to press super hard, but deep enough so you can really feel it. And taking several breaths here, we enter into Prana Maya Kosha. This is the sheath of energy and vitality. And if you'd like, you can also change the feet, taking the soles of the feet together and letting the knees open out wide. So you're kind of in a Baddha Konasana or butterfly pose. As you hold this gentle acupressure point, connecting you into the depths of your inner self, dropping your awareness there, resting and softening in your hips. This point is also at what we call the Dantian or Shakti point. It's the center of creative power, feminine energy, vitality. Just like the breath, it's connected to flow in the waters of life, of rhythm. So the Pancha Koshas are dimensions of being, a dimension of being in the self, being in the body, but of our personality. And oftentimes those koshas are what cover our soul, what cover our light or our divinity. So as we tune into these sheets, we also tune into the parts of us that are covered or that are covering our soul or our divinity, our soul self. And just by being and bringing our awareness to these areas, we recognize that we are not these sheets, but that we are the light that shines beneath and through them, illuminating. And this is what helps us tear down any resistance, any tensions we carry that cover up our bliss. Let's release that lower belly point. And then slowly take a moment to circle your wrists a couple times in both directions. And let's send the legs out straight and wide. So we'll take them in a V shape. I'm sitting on my cushion today, so you might want to have a little cushion under your backside. Relax your shoulders down, your right ear drop down towards your right shoulder. Let your head be heavy, shoulders relaxed. So we're also, as we practice today, clearing the Mano Maya Kosha, which is the mental energy, the mind energy, the intellect, the instinctual, the kind of pressures that we carry through our body. Lower your head forward and down. Roll your head slowly to the opposite side, left ear towards left shoulder. So it's sort of like the things that help us maintain our image. So as much as we want to show ourselves to the outer world, and it's important to some extent, we also want to soften around the tensions carrying this sort of image out in the world. And notice how maybe your jaw might be holding some tension, or the space behind your eye or brow, your scalp, even into your brain. Consciously soften the whole of your face, muscles, back of your head, and neck. And again, slowly roll your head forward and down. Drop your chin towards your chest, but lengthen up through the back of your neck. So you're sitting up a little taller now. You can even roll your shoulders back a little bit, letting your heart spread. Tuck your chin down a little bit more. Big breaths all the way up into the top of your breastbone. Cross your collarbones. Let today unravel these deep kośas, these sheaths that surround our light, and allow our light to shine through and illuminating bliss into our lives, into our bodies, into our energy, into our mind. Inhale, head up, roll the shoulders a couple times, and we'll come to standing. All right, so come into mountain pose and allow yourself to stand strong in mountain, just feeling what it's like, to be upright now. And as you stand upright, come to the center of your mat. Take your feet wide. Relax your shoulders back. We'll begin our warm-ups today with the 5 Tibetans. The 5 Tibetans are ways in which we can move the body that allow our energies to wake up. And what they do is they kind of mimic actions in nature. So from standing, if you're standing wide with the hips, about, let's say wider than your hips, about the width of your mat. Not the wide end of your mat, but the narrow end of your mat. So what we'll do is we'll follow the direction of the turning of the universe, actually counterclockwise. So take your arms out at heart level, out to the side. And then typically with our 5 Tibetans, we do each of the movements a minimum of 7 times. Now this one may make people dizzy. So if you feel like you want to just do this 3 times, feel free. We're going to go real slow at first. And if it feels good, we can move this Tibetan, 5 Tibetans, 7 to 21 times each. Warm us up. So we'll step with our right foot over to the left. And we're going to turn to our back, face our finger, and then turn again. Right foot steps out left. So one full turn to counterclockwise, right, to the left. That was one. Let's do another. Step right. And then step your right foot again. So we're kind of pivoting on our left foot. And again, step. You can start going a little faster, as long as it's okay for your eyes. So I'm just in a rhythm and that feels good. That's my number 4. I'm going to try and go up to 7 without feeling too dizzy. That's 6 for me. I'm just pivoting on my left foot, turning with the universe. Wow, yeah, my body wants to go more. So you can go as many times as you'd like, up to 21. I think I'm gonna go 14 on this one. All right, that's about good. That's when my foot got stuck. So pause, take your arms down and relax. And you're gonna feel like, when you were a kid and you used to do a little spinning, that little feeling of like, okay, moving with cosmic energy. Take a breath into that. Reconnect to your breath with your beneath you. So we all turn on our axis of our spine. So it really helps us notice that we kind of are our own little planet, our own little cosmic turning, our own little world in our own little orbit. Take another big breath, oxygenate your brain, bring the breath all the way to the crown of your head and beyond. Up the axis to into your feet. Good. Now let's come to stand in front of our mat, at the top of the mat, like you would if you were going to start a sun salutation. Now some of you have done this with me before. It's called a rolling sun salute, but we're just going to do part of it because the second of the 5 Tibetans are leg lifts. So we're going to do 7 to 21 leg lifts, and the way we'll do that is take the palms together at heart center. Thumbs rest at your sternum. Feel your weight on your feet. Nice long spine. Awareness front to back of the body. Inhale, open your palms to your heart. Reach up. And lengthen. Exhale. Come into forward fold. And get your forward fold in deep. A couple extra moments here. To bend and straighten your legs. And then you can bend just the right, straightening the left. And then bend the left, straightening the right. And then soft bend in the knee. Slowly sit down. Do one full roll back. One full roll back. And then on the second time you roll back, take your hands underneath your backside and bring your legs straight up. Flex your feet. And lower your heels down so they almost touch the ground. Point and then breathe. That's 1. Go again. Exhale, lower. Up to the sky, 2. You don't have to bring them in too close to you. 3. Keep going. In. 4. Lift 5. 6. You want to keep going with me at 14. Let's keep going. If you have to, you can split your legs if it just be too much on your back. You can also lower only part of the weight down. 10. Raising up the belly. 12. This is like a reed in the wind. 14. You want to go to 21 with me? Keep going. Otherwise, just stay with your legs hovering above your belly. You can bend your knees and rest. And 21, we're going to send the legs back overhead and roll all the way forward to the feet. Coming into squat for a moment. Take a few breaths and squat. As you sit in squat pose, allow yourself to drop down through your hips. Draw your elbows down your inner thighs and take your palms back to heart center. Press your thumbs right into that sternum point we were pressing in before. See a tranquility. Relax your jaw, relax your throat. So while the first action of the Tibetans was following the rotation of the universe, the raising and lowering of the legs is called root pushes soil. So it's how our ground, our earth, helps to nourish the roots of our body. So that movement has that metaphor. And so now we're going to come forward onto all fours. Take a few moments to just instinctually move your body. So back out, warming up. Get ready for our third of the 5 to 10. Now roll your spine. And you can just make big circles or figure 8 over your hands and knees. Kind of tuning into your creature body, right? This is like your Manomaya Kośas. It's like the instincts that help us make decisions. Good, and feeling into the body, feeling into maybe what is tight.
and nourishing it with our attention and our breath. Come back to table pose. Slowly start to sit back on your heels and then come up onto your knees. Relax your shoulders back. So we're all pretty much familiar, if you've been doing yoga for a bit, with camel pose. So the next of the the 5 Tibetans, the third one is leaning back and pulling forward from the camel position. So you can either keep your toes curled up behind you, or if you feel stable, you can uncurl your toes behind you. Your hands, typically like in our Ustrasana camel pose in traditional Hatha yoga, go back here. But in this particular exercise, we're gonna take it below the bottom, sort of like at the top of our thighs and the crease underneath our booty, okay? So the movement is small, it can get big if you feel comfortable. The movement is inhale, press the hips forward, let the fingers reach down the legs, and pull up through the heart. And then exhale, come back to center and drop the chin. If you want to push down through your knees, inhale, squeeze your inner groins in towards each other. Pick up your energy through the midline, roll the shoulders back, look up, exhale, round, and curl the upper back, chin down. Good. So it is kind of like a little bit of a cat-cow motion, where we're just pulsing through our spine. And again, there's a significant metaphor for this particular movement. It is like that stem of a plant, the spine moves in the wind. It still stays stable. It doesn't get picked up and moved away. It doesn't get broken. It stays flexible. And so as our spine moves up on inhale and rounding on exhale, feeling that flow as the wind moves. And we feel enough control on the inner body, strength of our body, the strength of our spine, the strength of our awareness. Okay, you guys are doing great. So we're getting up towards 21 here in a few more moments. If you can hang with it, more. We got our 21. Drop the chin to your chest. Sit down on your heels and round your back all the way to child's pose or balasana. Into the round ball and rest yourself there for a few moments. Closing your eyes, balasana. So for the third Tibetan, a stalk is both thin and strong. It sways, yet remains standing in the wind. Get this feeling of your body expressed, both in heart opening and in flexion. Giving and receiving of breath, the winds blowing. Taking another breath in and out. We'll come into our Tibetan number 4. This is reverse bridge pose. Slowly unwind. This is called a river flowing through the contours of the land. So sometimes I equate, the spine as a riverbed, like of energy, right? So this is like riding, like letting your body be like even a raft that goes down a river, right? So I want you to have that imagery. And then we'll come into with the feet out in front. Feet about hips distance apart. Hands are coming behind you. Lean back on your hands. For this particular exercise, the 4 Tibetan, I like to turn my palms at each of the 7 times I go through. So we'll do 7 with the fingertips pointing to us, 7 with the fingertips out to the other side of our mat, and 7, with the fingertips behind us. And this movement is pretty simple. It's like reverse table. You turn the fingers in. We'll inhale, lift up, and then we'll exhale, lower down. Keep the chest open, keep the shoulders back. Inhale, pressing your hands and feet. Exhale, let us think more about your pelvis now. Exhale, inhale, 5. Exhale, lower. You can go as far as you want. You just want to come up a little bit. That's good too. And 7. Turn your fingertips so they point out. Keep the lifting movement. Inhale like you're on a raft down a river. 2. Let your head go back if it feels good. 3. Press. Good, and lower down. Turn the fingers away from you now. Begin lifting up and lowering down. Lifting up and lowering down. Lifting up and lowering down. Last 3 or 4, depending on how quickly you're going. Feel the heat and the warmth as you work. Good, and then slowly when you're ready, bring the hips down. Good. Wrap the arms around your legs, lower your head, curl your back, close your eyes. And just let yourself be here, easy. Easy and relaxed, soft and smooth. Let your legs open up, let your feet come together again. Go forward, round your back. Letting your forehead move down towards your feet. So curl in, close your eyes. Allow yourself to feel soft here. And then slowly roll up. So the last of the 5 Tibetans is basically down dog to up dog, okay? So again, these are like repetitive movements that we're doing to open and really expand and extend and flex our spine. So this particular is the feeling of a waterfall. So the down dog movement is like a waterfall, like energy moving towards the earth. And then it's called waterfall spills a powerful current into a pool or into a wading pool. So it's like you want to feel like when you move from down dog into up dog, that you're sort of feeling like the lower part of your back, when you get that like arching feeling in upward facing dog, that becomes the wading pool. All right, so let's give it a go. I want to make sure I'm also recording. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So from down dog, here, from down dog, we come forward, almost like you're coming towards plank, and then lowering your hips. You're going to keep your toes curled under and squeeze towards the midline. And then inhale, pick up through your belly to help you come back to down dog. So here's your waterfall. Hips are spread back. And then come forward, pushing off your toes, through plank, shoulders over the wrists. Get lower down. Squeeze your booty so you can support that back movement. Good, so if you just want to do 7, that was 2. 7, 14, or 21. Today I'm going to go easy, especially since my wrists have been a little sensitive after doing these yesterday. And you know, we all have different abilities depending on how you're feeling. Note, when I'm picking up, I'm pulling into my belly. I'm not just trying to do this with my arms and legs. I want to do this with my breath. Pushing and lifting. Inhaling hard. All right, so that was 7 for me. I'm going to come back up through down dog when I finish. You can keep going if you'd like. And I'm going to rest again. Only this time I'm going to rest in neutral spine, taking a block underneath my seat. Releasing my palms up on my lap. Closing my eyes, sitting in Virasana or Vajrasana before we come into our next stage. So, feeling the warmth and the energy wherever you are working. As soon as you take pause, rest. And then of course, right away, you're gonna notice, yeah, it's time to massage out those wrists. So let's massage out the wrists together. So taking your fingers across the front of your wrists, back of your wrists. So like right where those bracelets are, those wrist creases, that's where you're gonna put your thumb. And then the fingers can massage down also into, it's almost like you can play guitar on your arm, right? That's what we want. Pressure points all the way across the arm, forearm. On the other side, I'm also simultaneously pressing my thumb into my wrist. Now we can go further down. And in fact, I love getting into this elbow joint here. If you get all the way down into the elbow joint, hold the upper arm bone stable and then turn your arm. So that's the radius encircling the ulna. And then as you turn and twist your arm a couple times, you can massage into the joint, into the muscles and connective tissue around the joint. There's so much here. You can also do it up into the forearm muscles, the deep part of the forearms. Good. Perfect. Good, and then work open your fingers. Make fists and open. Good. And then shake that out. We'll do the other side. So one hand, you know, the hand that gets to massage also gets receives something. Soft fists. Move your wrists a little bit. Circling. Yeah. Good. And then working the massage. If one side feels tighter than the other, you can really get in there into those tight spots. And really the groove between the radius and ulna, those two lower arm bones. And then down into the joint. Keep the upper arm bone steady. You might get a little bicep activity as you do this movement. But you can really see the physiology of our arms and hands as we work. Yeah. Good, more massage. So 5 Tibetans, we spin 1 counterclockwise, 7 to 21 times. 2, we raise and lower our legs, root pushes through. 3, we lean back and forth from that camel pose position. Stalk up the spine thin and strong as it squeezes and remains standing in the wind. And then the 4th of the Tibetans is tipping the head back and pressing the
pelvis up towards the sky in sort of a reverse table pose. River flows through the contours of the land. And then the fifth is the waterfall spilling into like a still pool. And that's the down dog to up dog position. Those are the 5 Tibetans. A wonderful way to wake up the body, yes? Okay. Let's come back to standing, and we will come next into some easy, slow flow sun salutations, and then get into some wonderful lunging.
All right. First thing I want you to do, though, is I want you to find a wall in a little transition position. I don't have a really easy wall, so I'm going to bring my chair in to demonstrate this next thing. It's called half dog. You can do this at the wall by standing at the wall and placing your hands at the top of your hips. You want about hips distance between the hands, or shoulders distance between the hands. And then when you place your hands at the wall or your chair, you just simply step back. You want to create a right angle with the body. You let your arms open and broaden across the upper back and shoulders, collarbones. Feet about hips distance, toes pointing towards your wall or your chair. And then let your ears be right on the inside of your 2 arms, right between the neck, nice and long. And now push your wall or chair away so you feel like your armpits now are broadening and creating space, both lengthwise and widthwise. And then let your tail feathers press back, your sitting bones. And then lift into your pelvic floor. A little bit towards your midline. Let the inner arches lift on your feet. You can take your toes up. Take about 3 more breaths here. Just opening into half dog position. As you take these last 2 breaths, kneecaps will lift. If you need to bend your knees a little bit, especially if you lock, good. Don't mind bend. Upper leg, turn, thighs. Nice long breath in and out. Get long. And then start to curl the spine. So press into the wall of your chair. Start to round your back. Your tailbone under. Curl your chin towards your chest. Squeeze your inner belly in. And then walk your feet up. Start to straighten back up. So unfurl your spine, sort of like a fiddlehead turn. Roll your shoulders back a couple of times. Just notice what that is. Your Sukhasana, your mountain pose. Easy breaths. Good. And let's come to standing at the front of our mat for some slow flow salutations. You may want to also have your blocks handy. Let's bring our blocks up towards the front of our mat. In case we need them, they're there for our standing poses. We're going to do some standing and balancing poses. Bring the palms together at your heart center. Here's some sun salutations. Inhale, open the palms to the heart and reach up, look up. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, long spine, flat back. Fingertips can stay on the floor, come up the front of the shins. And just stay here for a moment. Good firm, so lift the kneecaps, lengthen the crown, forward, spread across the front of the chest and shoulders, rolling back. And elongate the neck so you're looking straight down. Good. Exhale, spill forward. Step the right leg back to high lunge. And then just kind of pivot back and forth over your feet. Off your toes, push back through your heels, and then you can do that with your fingertips off the ground, just feeling into your legs. We did a lot of early arm work today. You even want to keep the arm of your arms. Good. Right, plant the hands, step back, plank. Lower down knees, chest and chin. Inhale, cobra pose. And, oh, that feels good. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in and out. And bring right forward now, high lunge. Pushing off the heel. on your hands, maybe sweeping the floor a little bit, feeling your legs holding you steady. Good. And then step the feet forward to the front of the mat, fold in. Inhale, reach out and up overhead. Tall and long. Exhale, hands to the heart. Expressing our gratitude for this beautiful day. Inhale, reach up. Thanks for the light of the sun. Exhale, namaste to the sun. Bowing to the earth now. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back with the left. Let's try the high lunge again, only this time right to where our belly is covering and our arms are releasing. The crescent legs, the forward stance, the heel up. And let's inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Good. So we can do a couple of things here. We want to make sure those hips are facing forward. So if you want to release your arms for a moment, grab your hips, check in, right knee over the right ankle, back leg straight. So you can see you can bend and straighten that back leg a couple times. And what we want to do is we want to feel like that bend or straightening doesn't really affect our pelvis too much. Okay, we're just feeling a little bit of a pulse there. Good, now keep that left leg straight, arms up to the sky. Take the right arm back as you reach your left arm forward, and then inhale back to center. Good, do it again. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reach. Last one, let's hold it. Exhale, twist, and hold. Feel that strength. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back to plank. Good, lower down, knees, chest, chin. Ashtanga Pranam, this is a prostration to the earth. Patanjali's 8 limbs. Inhale, cobra pose, elbows stay bent. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, one full breath. Inhale, take the left foot forward this time. High lunge. Inhale, coming up, peeling your belly off the front of the thigh. Take the arms up. Connect into the knees. Connect into the feet. Grab hold of your hips. Kind of bend and straighten that right leg a couple times. We're opening up the front of the right thigh. You can feel that hip flexor there. Turning on. Good, and then keep it there. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Spine long, breathe into your side ribs. Exhale, twist to the left, looking open. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, twist and open. Inhale, up. Exhale, twist. Last one. Inhale, up. Exhale, twist. Now stay with the twist. Feeling that pivoting and that revolution through your spine. Legs stay steady and strong. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, set the hands down. Step the right foot to meet the left at the front. Fold in. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, hands to heart. Good. All right, so from here, I'd like you to do that same thing, only come into forward stance position. So like if you were to stand in mountain pose, take your right foot straight back from that hips distance apart. You'd still have hips distance in your feet. That's what we want. So I want you to feel that hips distance. Keep the hips rotated towards the narrow end of your mat. Good, relax your shoulders back. Bend into your forward knee. Good, inhale, take the arms back up to the sky. So here we have, without crescent pose, the right foot flat on the ground. Bring your palms to prayer position in front of your heart. Take a big inhale, lift up the front of the body, and exhale, lean forward. As you do now, take your right elbow across to the outside of your left knee. Come back to hands at heart center. Now I'm going to have you personally feel whether you want to keep that right heel grounding or pick the right heel up and push back as you twist. So a little bit more rotation maybe through if you take the heel off the ground. Good, so a small movement can make a big difference in giving you that physiological response, right? So bring your right hand down if you can and lift your left arm up. It's a big twist if it's available to you. Good, and advanced students, if you want, you can take your left elbow to your left hip, right elbow to the inside of that or outside of that left knee. Lower yourself down. You're shelving. Good, and then you can come up from here into little scissor splits. Balance. Good. On your way back, see if you can still come back through that twisting variation. Yes. And then come back. This time pivoting on the heel. Palms together at the heart. Now, this is where we might need our block. Straighten your front leg. Step your right heel forward. Grab your blocks and we're going to release this movement in pyramid pose. So both legs can stay straight or forward knee can be a little bent. And we want to fold completely. Looking back at our right toes. So draw those inner groins towards each other. Let the head spill forward. Gather that length of your spine over your left leg. Next phase. Press the right leg to the sky. Balancing on one leg. Could be a little bit of a standing split if you'd like, or you can come into flat back and just have that right leg up. Everyone, big inhale, half lift. Exhale, hug that right knee into the belly. Plant your right foot down to the ground and fold in. Inhale, sweep the arms up all the way to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Last one, last side. Slide the left foot back. We got about 2.5 feet between the two legs, right? Between the 2 feet. And what we want to do is keep that space, that hips distance space. We're facing our hips towards the narrow end of our mat, forward stance. Back foot is flat on the ground. Right knee bends, traditional warrior one, Virabhadrasana 1, shoulders down and back. You may feel like you're a little narrow here, that's okay. Hands to heart center. Come forward over the left leg. Pivot, left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Push the hands together. You can stay here. Or if you want, you can pivot off that left heel. Use the back leg to help you twist more. If it's available for you, you can keep breathing and just hold here, or come into the next set of arm balancing on this side. Here, right hip, lower the leg onto your arm shelf. Left leg extends, right leg extends. Coming back, your form is from the twist. So adjust, return, take your blocks, step the back foot in, straighten the right leg, pyramid pose. Squeezing inner groins. If you need your blocks higher, it's too much on your forward knee, you can give it a little bend. Lots of variations. Last little movement here. We're gonna press off that back foot. You can bend slightly and do forward. Bring that left leg to float behind you, or a standing split. So if I'm going all the way into standing splits, I'm sending my toes towards the sky. If I'm just going into the floating position, it's here. And then from this position, exhale, hug that left knee in, nose to knee, plant your left foot, and fold in. Beautiful. Inhale, sweep up, reach up. And exhale, hands to heart. So take a pause and feel the energies of your breath. We can come down and pop a squat again. Turn your toes out. Wide, maybe in your stance. More of a resting malasana. So closing your eyes, feeling your heartbeat, feeling the warmth. Again, ultimately stripping away anything that's in the way of our bliss body. That's the body that knows light, illumination, the divine. It's like sort of taking away all the layers of the onion, right? These sheaths that cover us up, the kośas. So the kośas kind of hold us together in a very physical realm, and yet they can also hold us to the physical realm so much that we don't recognize our God self. And that's what we're doing with yoga, is we're helping ourselves become more transparent, more softer, more unraveled, like unraveling the tensions, right? Not unraveled like we don't know where we are. In fact, to help us get to know ourselves even more. Good, let's sit our booties down. Oh, I think we've worked each other, our bodies strongly up until this point. Let's come back to this sole of the feet together, knees open just for a moment, heels and the sitting bones further apart, okay? Inhale, lift up through the front of the chest, holding onto your shins. Exhale, come forward. So those forward stance positions are really sort of narrow. So we're always kind of squeezing into the midline. So it's nice to come into something that's more symmetrical and externally rotated as a counterbalance. So a few big breaths into that low back, low waistline, back ribs, kidneys, adrenal glands, and just let your head spill forward. Let your belly relax. Let your jaw release. Decompressing. Maybe there's a sound or a sigh there that you want to let out. We'll find ourselves coming back to committing to our own sense of truthfulness, just truthfulness with ourselves. It doesn't have to be anywhere else right now, just being truthful with ourselves. The truth of the moment, the truth of where I'm at, the deeper truth of who I am. And then as you feel ready, slowly uncurl again, sitting back up. We're going to shift the legs. So now the right's going to stay in front and the left's going to come into Virasana. You're going to place the right foot kind of on the inside of the left thigh. I'm going to fix my thing here. Okay, so that's the movement. Okay, so with the legs like this, sit up tall. Let's keep twisting, because the twisting part helps us continue to unravel and then also help us connect to the central channel of the spine, right? So here, taking the left hand over to the right knee and then the right arm behind you. Sit tall, okay? The tendency is for that left hip to want to roll up, so drop that left hip even more into the ground and then rotate more from the spine instead of the head and neck. So let the head and neck stay loose. Use your arms as leverage for the twist. You can even take the back of your left hand and press it up against your thigh. So you're using that as leverage. I got even weight and pressure through my arms. And I'm just gonna let my chin rest over my right chest point. So I'm not even moving my head and neck into the pose. It's sort of like an extension of the rest of my spine. So taking a couple of breaths, inhale length, exhale twisting. And releasing back to center, switching sides. So I'm going to bring my left in front and my right off to the side. Imagine your sitting bones kind of like a plug. Okay, so if Our sitting bones, the two sitting bones, were like the plug of like our charger, right? And we're plugging into the earth like we would plug our charger in. That's what we want. We want this even amount of pressure down so that we can feel the current of electricity go through us. So the earth gives us that lift off, that gravitational rebound, right? And then as we open up that channel, electricity can move through our whole body. Right hand, left knee, left arm behind, press down, soften the hips, soften the shoulders away from the ears, crown of the head, even with the sky above, big breath in to lengthen. Exhale, wring it out, using the arms as leverage. Right back of the hand can press. We got that rotation, neck and shoulders, chin just over the left chest point. Notice where your tight spots are as you twist. Ask your body if there's anywhere or any way you can use the strength of your mind, your imagination to move your breath where it is needed the most. Riding those waves of breath up through the spine like a spiral staircase, climbing up and circling around. Soft jaw, soft brow, soft throat. Big breath in, exhale, sigh it out as you return back to center line. Very good. Let's come back to child's pose. So take wide-kneed child's pose, knees apart, toes together, sit back, and then you can either take your arms straight out along the floor, forehead to the ground, or any other variations of your favorite child's pose. So resting here. Vyanamaya kosha is our intuitive kosha, our intuition that sort of allows us to know psychically. And we're really tuned in to and stimulated by kind of like the other koshas by the information we're receiving from the outer world. And it takes up space. So part of the next stage of our practice is about releasing our ties with our senses. So we're going to begin to release deeper so that we're able to more easily let go of those sheaths and become more transparent. With all the work we've done so far today with the Tibetans, with the standing poses, we now turn our attention to resting and unraveling deeper, allowing those tensions to release. So with the yang energy, balance with the yin, any of the efforts that we needed to utilize to go through those poses, we want to make sure that it doesn't stick to us. We don't want those tensions to stay. So we begin to consciously, with our exhales, soften around every edge of our body. And if there's any sort of place in your body right now that you're feeling like, you want to massage, I'm going to have you roll up. And for me today, tops of the shoulders are this point that I want to massage a little bit. So just kind of coming into an easy seat. You may want to do some more little neck or shoulder circles. And our releasing poses today, hip openers. I'm going to give you several options before we go into our final resting point today for doing some hip work. And going really easy with our hip work so that we're, again, making sure that we're not adding any tensions. So you have pigeon pose as option number one. So pigeon is bringing one knee forward and then coming to an upright position and then folding in. sleeping pigeon or Kapotasana, sleeping swan. So this is option number 1. Option number 2, if you have any knee issues or hip issues and you're feeling like you just want to make this easier, you can do this on your back. So figure 4 pose, bringing the legs into you and resting here. So either way, we're just taking one side at a time. We're spending about 1.5 minutes on each side. So you're about 30 seconds in. Let's take another minute's worth of breath. And imagine you're just going to be here for a while so that you can soften even more.
So deep, slow, even breathing. Have the solfeggio frequencies going. You may not hardly even hear them in the background, but they are working on our own healing. This one in particular that's going on in the background is for congestion, sinus issues, helps to do more physical body healing, helps to remove any density, any mucus in the body. Anything in the lungs or anything in the sinuses, helps to remove an immune booster frequency. Asana today will do an anti-anxiety frequency. So it's really receiving. Let's change sides now. When you're ready, you move on to the left side or the opposite side. So make your transition slow. Take as much time as you need. Breathing in. Take your time to move out of this hip stretch. Allow yourself to feel as you move that you're transitioning in whatever way your body can feel most supported as you move into Shavasana. I really love bolsters. And maybe in between going from this particular position, this hip opener, before we even go into Shavasana. I think we're good to lay back on our forearm. On your mat, use this up, right? Allow yourself to stand the legs straight. Release. Just lay back. Letting the heart. Just a few minutes here before we go into Shavasana. Bring our arms circulate. As you lay back and rest, I'll take you through a little inner visualization before we move into Shavasana, where you just want to have my voice. In turn, feel your body resting against the earth. Just breath fully. The waves of energy subtle and loud. As your breath animates oxygen, moving fluid. Breath, life. Move closer to that final expanded sheath of the body, Andamaya Kosha, bliss body. This body is closest to the human light. And this is the sheath. As we unraveled and loosen the ties, Anamaya Kosha, physical body. Feel ourselves releasing the physical body of intention. Releasing the Pranamaya Kosha, energy body, right energy, letting it be free before the body. We are not limited by our energy today or vitality. Feel the tone. In the brain now. Your brain is a deep night sky. All the synapses of the brain, like stars, twinkling in the night. You pop into the manas maya kosha, the mind, and the brain. The light, effort, just make mind, spreading open, vast. Intuition, that beyond the sense, that transcendent vision. Loosen those cords, loosen the need to connect in, actually soften our effort completely. now reaching, you retract, receive, still, silent, and closer to Anandamaya Kosha, bliss body. You ready? Make that transition into your Shavasana. Shavasana, this is your time to just rest. first to the earth. Feeling of your body against the earth. And connecting into your breath. The way the breath moves underneath your skin. Along your spine. To the shape of your skull. Length of your arms. Length of your legs into your toes. And feeling your mind now occupying your body and the space around you. Your attention, your awareness. Now the softer parts of your mind, the witnessing consciousness, beyond the senses. Allow all those parts of your being to begin to move your body, so letting your thumb slide up against the fingertips, curling your toes and your fingers, and then circling at your wrists, your ankles. Taking your time to roll over onto your side, transitioning there as long as needed. Letting the bliss body, light body catch up with this moment. Inviting yourself to carry this sense of awareness into your day, sense of freedom, for your light to shine, truth to be known from the inside out. Make your way up to a seated position. We'll end class with 3 ohms, bringing the palms together at the heart center. First Om, we bow to our own hearts and direct this Om to the healing of our heart space, taking a deep breath in. Sending this next Om into the space that you're in, your home, your land that you're on. Deep breath in. Sending this next and final Om into your community, into the people of your town, and as far beyond that as you can. Taking a deep breath in. Sigh out this breath. Imagine a beautiful shining jewel in the center of your brain, like a gem, a diamond. The prisms and the mirrors of light and rainbows reflecting on the inside of your mind. Money. The jewel resides within the lotus of your heart. Om Mani Padme Hum. Taking that brightness and lightness into the world with you as a prism of light, of rainbows, of joy, of peace, of bliss. Thank you so much for being part of my practice this morning. Thank you for being here today. Namaste. Blessings. Take care, everyone. Thank you.